Today in our 2010 Mercedes-Benz GL-Class 450, we'll be installing the Curt Hitch part number C13102. This is what our hitch will look like once it's installed. Next, we'll go ahead and give you a couple measurements to assist you with selecting accessories for your new hitch, such as a ball mount, bike rack, or cargo carrier. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the outermost edge of the bumper is 5.5 inches. From the top of the receiver tube to the ground is 13.75 inches. Now let's go ahead with installation. To begin our installation, we'll first need to remove the exhaust tips. To remove them, we'll need to remove the screws that secure them, and then push them towards the front of the vehicle, unlocking the L bracket tabs. Once we have them out of position, we can go ahead and remove the tip and set it aside for reinstallation later. Next, we're going to lower the exhaust. Quick safety tip: before you lower the exhaust, you'll want to put a safety strap underneath to help support the weight of the exhaust. Next, to begin removing the fasteners to lower the exhaust, we have a total of 4 hangers that will need to be removed. One on the inside of each muffler and one on the outside of each muffler. To remove the inside exhaust hangers, we'll remove the metal hanger from the frame by removing the bolts. The outside rubber isolator coming off the metal hanger, we'll spray with some spray lubricant and then use our pry bar to push the rubber isolator off the metal hanger. Next, we'll move to the rear bumper fascia bracket. There are a total of 6 fasteners that we'll need to remove. Once we remove the fasteners, we'll take the bracket and push it rear up behind the bumper structure. Next, we'll move back to the inside exhaust hangers. We'll remove the rubber isolator off the muffler metal hanger, setting the bracket and isolator aside for reinstallation later. Note, the manufacturer's hardware will not be reinstalled. Now to install the new hitch, we'll be using the hardware provided, which will be for the exhaust hanger weld nuts, 8mm bolts with split lock washers. Securing the remaining portion of our hitch will be clamped around the frame using the brackets provided and the 1/2-inch bolts and 1/2-inch conical tooth washers. The teeth of the washer will face the hitch. Next, it's a good idea to get an extra set of hands to help you hold the hitch while you install the fasteners. We'll pull back on the fascia and down on the exhaust and work the hitch up over the exhaust and up to the frame. We'll start by using the 8mm bolts and re-securing the exhaust bracket and sandwiching the hitch between the exhaust bracket and the frame. To gain a little more clearance between our exhaust hangers and the hitch, we'll switch them, putting the right side on the left and the left side on the right, turning them 180 degrees. Once we have all 4 started finger tight, we'll move to the frame fasteners. Here we'll take the nut plate and put it above the frame, noting that the cutout in the nut plate will go towards the front of the vehicle. Then we'll take the bolt and secure the forward 2 fasteners first, inside and out. I'll be starting with the outside fastener, then the inside fastener. Now with those secured finger tight, we'll move to the rear 2 fasteners. However, we'll first need to install the bracket shim between the frame and the nut plate. This will take up the space for the tapered frame. Once installed, we'll go ahead and put our bolt into position and thread it into the weld nut on the nut plate. Now we'll go ahead and repeat the same process on the opposite side. And with all our hardware installed, we can go ahead and tighten it down. Next, we'll torque to specifications as indicated in instructions. Next, we'll need to reinstall the rear fascia bracket. Note, for this application, we'll be mounting it on the rear side of the body lip, and to do so, we'll remove the metal nut clip, turn it over and stick it on the other side of the fascia bracket. Then we'll take our hardware, going through the front side of the metal lip, then into the fascia bracket. Note, it may be necessary to pull the heat shield down and out of your way in order to get the hardware into position. Then we'll go ahead and re-secure the fasteners across the bottom. Next, we'll go ahead and reinstall or reposition the heat shields. Note, in applications where the heat shield makes contact with the hitch, we'll go ahead and modify the heat shield slightly so that there's at least an 1/8 inch clearance between the heat shield and the hitch. Here on the driver's side, we're going to simply take a pair of pliers and roll the heat shield back and out of the way, and then smash it down so that we don't have any clearance issues. Now with our heat shield back in place, we can go ahead and reinstall the exhaust. I recommend to start with the inside hanger first and then the outside hanger. Now once we have the exhaust reinstalled, we can go ahead and reinstall the exhaust tips. And this will complete the install of our Curt Hitch part numbers C13102 on our 2010 Mercedes GL450.